Yo, what's up guys, AFC Adinho here and welcome to a new video. Today I got a showdown replay again from my main account, playing against Paying Dividends. He's really close to 1900s and we are over 1900s at this point. And the builds are quite similar in the sense of we're both playing quite balanced versus balanced. We're both running the Chi-Yu, but he is a bit stronger on the special side because he does have the gold dango. He does have the Hatterene as well, which I'm always afraid of because that thing is so freaking bulky, and whenever it calm mines up, it's so difficult to kill. So we gotta be really careful about playing around it. But I would definitely want my rocks up if that's Specs Chi-Yu. But it's gonna be difficult because he has magic bounce and he has an option to rapid spin, and I don't have a way of blocking his rapid spin with a ghost type. So Chi-Yu is definitely gonna be an issue. Gotta keep my Toxapex healthy for the guy. I will probably terrestrialize my Garganical this game, otherwise I'm gonna get destroyed by the Great Tusk. But offensively, I think my Chi-Yu also kind of destroys him. I spam Overheat and his well, I definitely 2-hit KO his Gladsire anyway, but his Dondozo is unaware. So my Overheat will still do the same damage on the second turn because it ignores my special attack drop. So I'm definitely gonna make use out of him. I don't think my Chien-Pao is gonna be too useful. It will be useful though if I get past Dondozo and Great Tusk, of course. But yeah, getting past Dondozo is gonna be difficult because he's not gonna let it in against my Chi-Yu, for example. I really gotta play around it, but it's gonna be all about wearing down my opponent and getting rid of the Hatterene so I can actually get up my rocks and pressure my opponent. But yeah, guys, before we start, once again, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, or if you haven't subscribed already. I post a lot of Pokemon PvP content on the channel, so definitely a good place to be if you'd like to improve or get entertained. And yeah, with that all being said, I'm gonna hit that play button and let's see how this goes. So he leads up Gladsire. I'm gonna lead up with Cyclizar. Like I said, Cyclizar leads really well into defensive Pokemon because defensive Pokemon might have trouble against breaking the substitute. So what I would do here, I go for Shed-Tail and I Shed-Tail into the one Pokemon I know Gladsire cannot break the sub of, and while having offensive pressure, and that's going to be my Great Tusk, because I can theoretically go into Chien-Pao or into Chi-Yu, but he will break my sub. So I go into Great Tusk, and this way I will guarantee stay behind the sub, and this is a free knockoff. And he goes into Hatterene. Maybe he was expecting the Stealth Rock, so I get up the knockoff, which is amazing because now I can follow it up with a free Earthquake. I get some nice chip on this guy. He goes for Draining Kiss, breaks my sub, gets a bit of HP back, but I got rid of the leftovers, and now I get in Chi-Yu. And like I mentioned before in team preview, guys, my opponent doesn't have a good Overheat switch. Look at this. I can click Overheat. He decides to go Gladsire. If I was Terra Fire, I might have actually gone for it here. And look at how low the Gladsire is. And I can just click it again. And he decides to go Chi-Yu, so I'm doing another 30 to 40%. Yep. And now I have to go into my Toxapex as he makes a nice double switch into the Great Tusk, meaning that I have to respond to it. I'm going into Garganical, and I think I just went for Stealth Rocket anyway, or I went for Salt Cure. I guess I went for Salt Cure because he can rapid spin me away, and yeah, the reason I went for Salt Cure there is I actually expected him to knock me up there, so I can get some free chip on him. But now he brings in the Gold Dango, and this Gold Dango, as you guys can see, has Covert Cloak. So my Garganical doesn't touch this guy at all. And now this guy can get free Nasty Plots every time, and I'm forced to go into Pegs as he goes for Nasty Plot. And I'm trying to get in my Cyclizar on a potential Shadow Ball. So I Surf first, and now I try to go into Cyclizar, but he reads it perfectly and goes for the Make It Rain and knocks out my Cyclizar. Like, this Pokemon gets a free kill against me every time because my Toxapex doesn't touch it if it is Recover Nasty Plot. And due to him having Covert Cloak, you can freely switch it in on Garganical. So my team is really weak to this specific set. But yeah, I'm forced to go Chiyu here on the rocks, and I get a free overheat, so I should get a kill in return here, as he goes into the Cloudsire. I didn't need to click overheat, by the way. Goes into Chiyu. I'm forced to switch out again, so I'll go Pex just to scout what he's going to do as he clicks overheat himself. And that looks to be Choice Scarf. So now I get my Toxic Spikes there, because I felt like he could have gone Heatherine. But I really wanted the Toxic Spikes because I wanted to pressure Great Tusk. And I did get off my Toxic Spikes here. I Toxic Spike again because I don't think he is going to switch out against me. And yeah, I basically have to lose a Pokemon here. I decided to sack Great Tusk because most of his attackers are specially offensive. Be it Heatherine, be it Goldango, be it Chiyu. So my Great Tusk didn't really need to wall anything. It could wall his Great Tusk, don't get me wrong, but I still had my own Garganical for this. So I decided to just sack this off so I can get a free switch. Shadow Ball is just gonna 2-hit KO me, but Great Tusk is naturally faster than Goldango, so maybe he thought I was going to outspeed him. So instead of sacking my Great Tusk, I actually got away here by clicking Earthquake and damaging the Great Tusk, badly poisoning him as well. And I think I went for the knockoff here myself, getting rid of his. I Rapid Spin first and then I knock off, pretty sure. Getting rid of his rocks and negating his recovery as he Rapid Spins as well. And did I go for another Rapid Spin? I went for another Rapid Spin because I wanted to be extra fast. Because his Chiyu is probably Choice Scarf. I wanted to outspeed him. But that backfired because he went Heatherine. So I'm forced to go Chiyu here, unfortunately. They take the damage. However, now I get off a big hit. And he decides to sack his own Chiyu here, which is amazing because I don't have to switch into the guy. I didn't have Toxapex, so I did have Toxapex, but he was low. So really glad I got rid of him. Now Heatherine comes in. And I overheat again as he stays in and dies. So goodbye Heatherine. And now Dondozo comes in. And I just click overheat again because at this point Dondozo is most likely unaware, right? So I still do a shit ton of damage to him. But he makes another double, so I get another kill with this guy without switching. Now Dondozo comes in, and now I am going to switch into Garganical as he goes for liquidation. Because at this point, the reason I switched out now is because now Dark Pulse becomes really free against my opponent. If I look back at this, this was a fine play. This was a fine play. But this, I should have just switched out there. This was a fine play, but if I look back at it, I should have switched there. Because, look at this, Dark Pulse is so free against them. So I didn't... Dark Pulse is so free, I could have just swapped into something like... if I was going to swap there, I still had my Great Tusk alive as well. So I could have brought in Great Tusk, knock him off, and then if he uses Curse, I can just haze him. I actually misplayed there, but it worked out really well for me, and it was pretty funny that I just killed it, that me killing his Great Tusk there. But in hindsight, I should have swapped, because it could have cost me the game. Yeah, I swap out there, go into Garganical to get the Sculpture on him. Because I can just sack a Pokemon against Goldango if he decides to go Goldango now. So I just went for Stealth Rock, and I just kept staying in against this. He went for Liquidation, got a defense drop. I solved Cure as Goldango comes in, and like I mentioned before, I just have to sack a Pokemon here. And I think I decided to sack Toxapex. As he goes for Make It Rain. I might even not sack Toxapex though. We'll see. Go for Toxic Spikes. Pretty sure, yep. Goes for a nasty plot. I get off my Toxic Spikes again. And at this point, I just set Great Tusk. And going to Chi-Yu, click Dark Pulse twice and win. And so I Dark Pulse again. Almost knock him out, but I flinch him. Doesn't matter. He would have died on the next turn anyway. And I won the game. Putting me at 1924 there. And destroying my opponent's dream of hitting 1900s. I'm kidding, guys. But yeah, he also mentioned, why did you sack this? And I said I didn't. It's still alive, but it was a bad play on my part staying in on the Dondozo earlier. I should have just swapped. I should have just swapped because Dark Pulse it became free at that point. So it was a big joke on my part. But yeah, that's why we reflect on these kind of games. I make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. This is how you learn from them. I shouldn't have stayed in. That's the big mistake from this game. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, guys, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you enjoyed this video and if you'd like to see more. And yeah, leave a comment down below if you have any questions. You can also join our Discord server if you'd like to discuss Pokemon PvP in general, discuss team building, everything. Usually a lot of people respond, so good place to be. With that all being said, I hope you have a wonderful day and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace out.